everyone! My name is Jenny, and I'm 16 years old. You know that some people believe in omens, right? For example, a broken mirror is supposed to bring misfortune, and a horseshoe, on the contrary, is good luck. I never believed in such nonsense until something happened to me. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll tell you the most incredible story that happened to me. I was born lucky. If I wanted to go for a walk, the rain would immediately stop and the sun would come out. I would find money on the street at least once a week. I just didn't see anything weird about that. Although my friend Sarah assured me that I was unimaginably lucky. It all began right on my birthday. That year it fell on a Monday, which wasn't too great because all my friends were too busy studying and my parents were at work. That's why I decided to celebrate it earlier. Not on a Monday, but instead on a Sunday. When Sarah found out about that, she immediately got scared and she said it was bad luck to celebrate too early. I'd be in a world of bad luck. I laughed and I said I didn't believe in something like that. Finally, Sunday came and my friends gave me a lot of gifts. But Sarah's was the most impressive one. When I unwrapped it, I found an actual magic ball inside. Sarah said that it could predict the future really accurately. I laughed and I said I could predict whatever this prediction would be. But, however, when I shook the ball, I saw something unexpected. Nothing but failures was what the magic ball was telling me. I knew it, said Sarah. It's all because you didn't believe in the omen and threw the party a day before your birthday. Of course, this was kind of unpleasant to hear, especially on my birthday. But I immediately put all of that nonsense out of my mind and I decided I would simply just have fun. By the end of the party, I had already forgotten about the magic ball's strange prediction. The following day, I went to school as usual. However, as soon as the first lesson started, everything went wrong. First, I reached into my bag and was horrified to find my textbook was missing. Had I left that at home? I had a bad feeling about this. Then we were taking a test and at the worst possible moment, my pen stopped writing. What was going on? I was starting to get kind of nervous. While I was asking my classmates for a spare pen, time was running out. Naturally, I just didn't have enough time to finish the test and I got a bad mark for it. So unlucky. That's when I remembered the magic ball's prediction and I got really scared. During the break, Sarah came up to me and asked what was wrong. I told her I was having a strange day. She looked scared and said that the omen had come true. I was having a string of bad luck. I didn't want to believe that, so I decided to wait and see what else would happen next. I walked out of school and went to the bus stop. However, as soon as I reached it, I saw the bus doors shut in my face and they drove away. They hadn't waited for me, and the next bus wouldn't be here for a half an hour. I pushed the bad thoughts out of my mind, and I went home on foot. I'd only walked a couple blocks when, suddenly, a passing car splashed me with mud. For crying out loud! I started feeling really uneasy about this. I was almost home when my bag's handle broke off. It fell, and all of my notebooks went into a puddle. That was the last straw. I sat down on the ground next to my notebooks and I broke out crying. It became clear to me that I really had lost my luck. I thought that since my friend was so good at reading signs, she'd probably know how to fix everything. So I ran back to Sarah and I asked her to help me get my luck back. She thought about it and said, well, it might be almost impossible, but we still have to try. She took a clover leaf out of a box. Here, this is a 4-leaf clover. I found it when I went to Ireland with my parents. She said it brought good luck, and I should always carry it with me. I listened to her, and I couldn't believe I was going to do such a stupid thing. But there was really nothing else I could do if I wanted to get my luck back. I just had to listen to her. I hoped that the following day everything would go back to normal, but no such luck. I kept getting in trouble everywhere. I got stuck in elevators. I fell after tripping over a shoelace. I even sat on gum. Carrying around this stupid clover had all been in vain. I was starting to think I would stay like this forever. One weekend, I was sitting at home and studying for my school exams. I needed to find an article on the internet, so I was using my dad's laptop. What happened next was something like out of a nightmare. I was carrying the laptop to my room and thought, I hope nothing bad happens to it. And right as I was passing by the pool, I tripped, and my dad's laptop fell into the water. No! I saw the screen blink pitifully and go black. I immediately jumped into the pool and pulled it out, but the laptop didn't turn on. I felt like screaming. I was the unluckiest girl in the world. My parents were gonna kill me. I had to fix this somehow. I found the address of the closest computer repair shop and I headed there. A friendly guy, a little bit older than me, greeted me. He glanced at the drenched laptop and asked what had happened to it. I broke down and I told him everything that was happening to me the last few days. He listened to my story and started smiling. "What is so funny?" I asked him, hurt. And then he said he'd had the exact same problem as me. Only he'd been unlucky since birth instead of becoming unlucky because of a bad omen. And that's how we met. His name was George. And he told me that he'd been unlucky his whole life and he just had to get used to it. He gave me some tips on how to live when you're out of luck. For example, you should always take an umbrella with you, even if there are no clouds in the sky. After all, according to Murphy's Law, rain can start at any moment. George looked at my dad's laptop and said it couldn't be fixed. So I was gonna get in trouble with my parents after all. Still, I could at least prepare for more misfortunes if I followed the rules. I realized that I'd be lost without George's help. So I gave him my number and I said I'd be happy to talk to him again. He called me the next day and we chatted for about 2 hours. He made me feel a lot calmer. George couldn't make me lucky again, but he helped me get ready for whatever was coming. We started talking almost every day and soon enough, we became friends. Meanwhile, the end of the school year was coming up, and with it, the important exams. No matter how much I prepared, it was obvious to me that I wasn't going to pass them. Something was going to happen to me because of my terrible luck, and I'd get bad grades. I was lying in my room and thinking, what am I gonna do next? Then, by accident, my eyes fell on the magic ball Sarah had given me. A thought hit me. What if that ball was to blame for all my troubles? What if I'd become unlucky because of it? Maybe it really was magical and it could change the fate of its owner? I felt like that could be the case. I turned the ball over and I saw the address of the magic shop from where she'd bought it. I had to find out who made this stupid thing and get them to give me back my luck. I called George immediately and I asked him to come with me to the address written on the ball. Of course, he agreed. We found a shop that was selling all sorts of magical stuff and went inside. A strangely dressed man greeted us. He said his name was Mr. Ganoush and asked us what we wanted. I took the magic ball out of my bag and showed it to him. The man examined it and said that he was definitely the one who made it. I told him what was happening to me and I demanded he give me my luck back. But Mr. Ganoush just smiled and said the magic ball was an ordinary toy. There was nothing magical about it. "Nothing can make a person lucky or unlucky," he said. He also added that bad omens were just superstition. While he was talking, he took the magic ball apart to look inside. "Oh, this ball's actually broken. It can only show one prediction. Nothing but failures," said Mr. Ganoush cheerfully. I couldn't believe it. But what about all the bad luck that had been following me recently? The man said that I had probably just convinced myself something was wrong with me. Or someone had convinced me. And then I remembered. Sarah! I was beginning to understand who was behind all this. I said goodbye to George and I rushed to my friend's house. Sarah greeted me as if nothing had happened and asked me if her clover had helped. I told her angrily that I knew everything and she didn't have to pretend anymore. It was Sarah who had taken my textbook out of my bag and put a broken pen in. She did this on purpose, all to make me believe that my luck had turned its back on me. "You made me do it," my friend shouted back. She confessed that I was right. It turned out that Sarah had always envied my incredible luck and dreamed of one day teaching me a lesson. She had a broken magic ball that only predicted bad luck, and she gave it to me. Well, you already know what happened after that. As soon as I found out the truth, I immediately felt at ease. All of those omens and predictions were nothing but utter nonsense. And since I'd convinced myself I was just unlucky, I decided that I could just as easily turn my situation around. So I just told myself that my luck came back. And it helped. From that moment on, I became lucky again, even more so than before. I got excellent grades for all of my exams at school, even though I really hadn't been all that prepared for them. I just got really lucky when I answered the questions. I realized that people just couldn't suddenly become lucky or unlucky. It all depended on their own attitude. Failures came to all who expected them. I felt so happy that I'd finally realized that. I wanted to call George right away and share my thoughts. But actually, he called me first. "Jenny, you have no idea what just happened to me," he said cheerfully. It turns out that he bought a lottery ticket on a whim trying to spice up his life. He wasn't expecting any miracles, but when he checked at home, he was surprised to see that he'd won a large sum of money. He also said that since he'd met me, for some reason, he'd been getting incredibly lucky. George said I was the one who brought him luck. To be honest, his words made me doubt myself. Was it really a coincidence? Or is this really something magical? I'm really confused and I don't know what to believe. Maybe you know? Please tell me in the comments down below what you think about this.